This is season 9, episode 3, number 351 of the Decoded podcast. I'm going to start by saying everything's okay. Well,
That's the jazz fire hands.
everything's okay in this regard. So people will take that as they will. If they know me well, they know about the okay. If they don't know me well, they don't know about the okay.
I think I like some of the conversations that you and I have had off pod. There's our new term. We did it off pod. And it falls into that fool around and find out mindset. Although sometimes we don't use the word fool around, it's just F around and find out. I love the new energy that comes into school with grade 9 students, and they're very much around the, I mean, that's pretty much what being a teenager is, right? Fool around and find out. Fool around and find out. You're testing, you're constantly testing. Your brain is craving cause and effect. Sometimes it craves cause and reaction. Sometimes it creates cause and anarchy and chaos. But it's all fool around and find out. Um, the cheeky version of that, the F around and find out, I think is there's a certain malevolence to it, threateningness to it. Um, and some of the memes that are popping right now, it's they get kind of dark, but it's kind of like, you went there, so this is what happens if you decide to go there, and whatever that kind of that meme world is. Um, I think there's space to also take it as a bit of a wise position, though, like where you can say to someone, like, go ahead, like, do the thing that you're about to do, and recognize that the world has consequences, both positive, negative, and maybe you can interpret it as neutral. Last year, when I was doing the community classrooms, we had a lot of conversations around, like, what is a consequence? What is a consequence? Let's talk about what a consequence is. So the examples were always negative, the mindset was always negative, but I tried to work with the students that consequences are the thing that happen after a thing. I said a consequence of me not putting my glasses on in the morning is that a consequence is that I can't read. Now, that can be a negative consequence if I have to start doing my schoolwork. A positive consequence of that is that I can really, really relax because my eyes aren't constantly scanning and saying, "Oh, there's a tree. Oh, there's my dog." Like the cognitive load is lower. So there's both kind of positive and I would say if I don't put on my glasses, probably a neutral one is going to bed. I mean, I've fallen asleep with my glasses on, and I've fallen asleep with my glasses. Like there's nothing specific negative or positive that comes out of it. It's just a thing. But the fool around and find out, I think I'm in this space now where I can, I don't feel like I have to really enhance or electrify some of the rules that are in school to try and scare a kid off of a behavior. I just present the rule and then realize that this little human is going to make some decisions that um, likely will have consequences for them, less so me, for them. And I think this is like the second half of life thinking, that I don't have to have that hair trigger of protecting my colleagues and the students from how the system's going to react to them. The system is there as a reactor. It creates the rules. It has set it up. Like that's why I'm not teaching these children in my own backyard. The system has sort of accepted its role in creating a framework that these rules have to be. So I like these last, September, watching the grade nines come in, because they're just using every little tactic possible to see, does this rule apply? Will this create a consequence? Yeah, but yeah, but yeah, but yeah, but yeah, but. And in the past, I would have been trying to data track that, just like somehow I'm protecting them from bad decisions. Now, I will say, yes, of course, there are sometimes you have to really do work to protect a vulnerable individual from a bad decision. yes, there are some students, some humans, some adults that don't demonstrate the capacity to discern between a good choice and a bad choice. And they're put into responsible people's care, skilled, trained people's care, any congregated classroom that has multiple exceptionalities in it. You have a great example of individuals in there, the children that are in there, that there's a high likelihood that their choices, though maybe not bad for them, could be bad for other people. So you're in this adult management mode. Um, for right now, I'm just observing the students that are in my learning strategies class, the students that I sort of encounter on the daily, not necessarily inside these uh, more complex classes. So the fool around and find out is really fascinating to watch. And you had mentioned in the on ramp this a little bit of a reinvigoration of, like, what, like this is the rules of engagement, and I'm okay with being the person that is, maybe the embodiment, or I'm the gatekeeper on this, and in order to sort of move through into this space, you're going to have to comport yourself or follow the rule or comply. You can't re-Lego this into something that, master builder style. You have to follow the blueprint. In this case, you have to follow the blueprint, and fool around and find out. Like, so you decide not to follow the blueprint, okay. And then I also have the tools and the people and the system and the protocols to respond to that. If there were no rules in school, then you would not have any, like, the rules for school become because we have an institutionalized understanding of what school should be. So, it's you can sometimes feel like there's anarchy going on in your classroom or in the halls, but I sometimes just like to take that breath and go, okay, which is the thing that I'm going to try and lead back to the blueprint here. And I loved your example about, working in the spaces that you're in, to say this is one part of the blueprint that I'm going to enforce. I'm okay with sort of keeping this. And if you fool around, we're going to find out. We're going to stress test the actual, effectiveness of this rule. And these grade nines, I love watching them just trying to be these little humans, and the work that they are doing to try and be a grade nine student, whatever version they think that is. I love it.
I I have had a couple of moments this school year where I've had to, I guess, engage with students um, in a difficult conversation kind of way. And the
Hmm.
really cool thing about it was that there were other people around who have experienced me from last year. Last year was a real gift in terms of meeting people in the building, getting to know students, and building relationship. Because what I've seen this year is when I'm in the middle of having having a somewhat serious conversation with a student, calling them out, or, and I mean that, like, they do something in the hall, and I'm like, what are you doing? I call them over and I'm like, think about what you're doing, think about where you are right now. And as they're looking at me like, who the F are you? The people that are with them are like, That's Mr. C. Like, you don't be a dick. Listen to what he's saying." They're I have credit from them because they're like, this guy doesn't walk around dropping hammers on kids all day long. He actually wants to help
Hmm.
you. And this has come up a couple of times where I'm I have to operate in a different way than how I normally would to brand new people who don't know me, who I don't have a relationship with. But there are people around that I do have a relationship with, and they're looking at the kid, they're like, just shut up and take it. Like, from this guy, you don't want to push back on him like you might want to push back on an adult in this building. He's not the one to do it to. And I'm like, I say to them, I appreciate that. Thanks. Like, that means that you and I have built a relationship where you understand that there are lines, and there are certain lines just you shouldn't cross, not because you're at school, but because you're a human being. So let me give you an example. I was walking from one space to another yesterday, I think, going to a meeting, kind of rushed, and it's lunchtime, so kids are talking in the atrium in the hallways. This one kid just yells, like just this obscene yell. So I stop and I think, do I address this or do I keep going? I'm like, I'm going to address this. I turn, I face the group of boys. They all just stop and they're staring at me. One of them I know well from working with him in student success last year. And I go over to the kid that yelled and I said, is something wrong? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, that what you just did there was inappropriate. It's not called for. And then he says, but this guy, points to his friend, was bothering me. So then I stop. I stare at the kid and I give him one of those, are you serious? And then I look at his friend and I say to him, don't bother your friend or he's going to yell like that and it's going to upset me. Then I look at the kid I know, I wink, and I look back at the kid who yelled. I said, do you understand? He goes, yeah. I'm like, I'm out. See you guys. And I walk away. And as I'm walking away, I can hear them. I can hear them talking about not knowing what to do with what just happened. Because they're like, did he discipline us? Was he upset? Was he serious? Was he
Was
they
it
don't
just
know.
clear? Or was it just clear?
It was a moment of shock, right? Because I
Hmm.
came off as though you're going to pay for this, but it didn't end like that.
Hmm.
I think that's how I kind of operate as a teacher in general. Now that I think about it,
Hmm.
I come in a little bit hard and I walk away soft to show like I will drop the hammer. There's no reason you made a mistake. You yelled when you shouldn't have as I'm walking past you, and it irritated me. Who knows what that sounds like if they're on the first floor, I'm on the third floor, and I hear because it's no, it's lunch, it's noisy. I get that. But the way this kid yelled and the timing of it, and it was just like, no, no, stop being stupid. You don't need to yell like that. Nothing
Hmm.
to you right now. You're just being difficult. You are testing the limits. You're doing whatever you're doing. Um, and a couple of times, it's funny because, like I said, you get to know kids. So the first week of school, one particular student's in the room, and she's not even on my caseload. I'm just familiar with her because she used to come into the room to deal with her issues when I was running the room. But she's not on my caseload, but I know everything about her and I've helped along the way. So the CYCW says, hey, so and so's here. She just needs a couple of minutes. And I look over at her. I'm like, what are you doing here? With a serious look. And she looks at me puzzled. Like, I said, you said you were leaving. Last year, you said you were going to another school. This school sucked. Everybody here sucked. And I'm going on and on. I'm like, what are you doing here? She smiles. And I'm like, you're not supposed to be here. Now I have to deal with you for like 50 minutes. I don't understand. This is, other people are in the room and they're like, what's wrong with this guy? This girl's struggling. But I'm like, no, I know how she operates. This is my way of saying, welcome back. You tortured me last year. You said you were going to another school, and here you are. What's going on? Do I need to say something to get you to leave? Anyway, 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, she's come down, chatting with me about the summer. Everything that's supposed to happen in that room's happening, right? Like she's coming down, she's calming, preparing to go back to class. Da 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 da. I can do that now, which is awesome because I've built relationship with people. I know where the line is most of the time. I try not to step over it, but I get close just to show them I get close. And then they fire back at me. So if I can keep making that happen, whatever you want to call that, I'll keep doing that because it brings me some joy. It it appears as though kids, they come down from whatever it is that's bothering them, and then we can like kind of move forward with a plan. That's been good, man. That's been like the light for me with uh, like just the workload. I'm so happy that I enjoyed my summer because I remember in the summer thinking, oh, I might want to do some school stuff. I'm like, no, because when it hits, it's going to hit hard. Nothing I do now
Hmm.
is really going to alleviate that. It's just going to hit. I know it's coming. I know kind of what to expect. And it's hit. and it's still here, and I'm tired, and I'm looking at you, but all I see is IEPs, like the Matrix. Just I see all the stuff in the IEP
Yeah.
through. It's like anyway,
Phew. Send shivers.
but it'll come
Yeah.
to an end at some point, and then I'll get into a new routine of
Yep.
the work I do, the the work I do month by month in my role, right? Because at different
Mhm.
months, different things are happening, different issues are kind of popping up.
Absolutely.
I'm going to share with you another moment of light. Yesterday,
Hmm.
I was sitting at my computer working, and I hear my phone, somebody texts me. So I look at the text, and it's a number I'm not familiar with, and it's obviously not in my contacts. And it's somebody saying, "Hey, Roland, when you have a second, can you please share this document with me?" I'm like, I'm like, who is this? And how'd they get my number? So I respond, who is this? And I'm thinking the worst. I'm thinking somebody gave somebody my cell phone number, and now that somebody's texting me. And I don't
Mhm.
like this because I didn't give my number.
Yep.
Anyway, the response, it's Gary. Gary's like, yo, it's me, Gary. I'm like, oh, no problem. Because Gary's got a new phone number.
I've got new corporate phone
Yeah.
or
So
new personal phone, one of the two,
no,
maybe.
it's a work phone.
Okay.
Um, no, no. Welcome, Gary. Gary's like, sorry. No, no need to apologize. Gary, Gary, have you ever heard about my cell phone issues? I don't give out my number to people, Gary. It's my personal phone. That means only the people I deem worthy of this number get this number. So when you texted me, it was work related. Like Gary's like, "Can you
At that
send?"
point, and at that point, it was a number that wasn't worthy.
Right.
Yeah, that's. I think if I'm jumping just to kind of, I'm trying to Switzerland this for a moment. It was a number that was not yet worthy.
It was not, it was unknown. It was
Yeah,
not connected. There was no name
unworthy. It was
attached.
unworthy.
So I'm like, who is texting me to my personal
Hmm.
phone asking a
Hmm.
work question?
Triggered.
Oh, I was like ready to kill. And then it's like, it's Gary. And then Gary's, whatever. And I'm like, oh, Gary. And what I told you, give me a second. And I shared with Gary almost within 5 minutes. Gary got what I told Gary I would be happy to share with him the
Yep.
last time we talked about this thing.
Hmm.
And then Gary responded, and then my phone, it wasn't registered yet, but it said something like, probably Gary. Like it was like you mentioned a guy
Hmm.
named Gary to this number. Anyway, all the AI did its thing. All that to say, I was ready to kill. I was like, who friggin' gave out my cell
Hmm.
phone number? Everybody who has my number knows don't give out my number without talking to me first.
Yep.
Because I will block that shit.
Yep.
If Jimmy texts me, yo, Roland, how'd you get my number? Clough gave it to me. Guess what? Now
Done.
Clough's gone and Jimmy's gone.
It's
I'm it's my personal phone, man. No way. Uh-uh.
it's hey, like what's the dude about the pizza? Everyone knows the rules.
Oh, yeah, yeah. El Presidente. Everybody knows one bite, everybody knows the rules.
Everyone knows the rules. Okay,
I
here we go.
wanted to also, so this blew me away last night. We were out for dinner with the family. So my son lives in residence, my oldest, and on the floor above him. So on my son's floor, it's five or six guys, and then on the floor above is five or six girls. And the girls, they come down to visit the guys and they hang out and stuff. So yesterday my son was talking about something. He goes, I said, oh, have you hung out with the girls lately? No, I've been da 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 da. And he's like, in the group chat. I was like, what? There's a group chat between the girls on the top floor and the boys on the bottom floor, and they're all, and I'm devastated that phone numbers are being exchanged, because in my world nobody gets my cell phone number,
Hmm.
right? It's called email or social media. Like, you're not getting my actual phone number. So just to see kids like there's a group chat for everything these days. And it's like, and some of it's social media, but some of it's telephone number. And I'm like, you just gave away your number? Yeah. That's what we do. And I'm like, oh, thank God I don't live in your world, because I'm not giving out that number. I'm not giving out that number. Anyway, all that to say, poor Gary, who's on the other end working his rear end off. He's like, Chidiak said he'd help. And then I'm like, who the F is this? It's Gary. Oh, Gary. I'm happy to send everything your way. Anyway, it was a light, Gary, because I was in the middle of, you can imagine, 30 different things. IEPs are open on the computer, need to call this parent, need to get this kid's consent for this or that. It's like, I had a moment of, I literally sat there and I was like, now I know why people procrastinate, because I don't want to do any of this. And I know that. I know about, but I was like, now I know why people procrastinate, because they have to do a bunch of stuff they don't want to do. I get it. I don't want to do it either, but got to get it done. I
I
got to
like
get it.
it.
I got to get it done because it's okay. It's okay. There's another one too, Clough. I keep showing you that one, but I also did like the meme one, but I didn't like what it did to me. It's this one here. I got two of them now. So
Hmm.
I got the cartoon fire, and then I got the house fire,
They both are on point. Yeah, I feel like you just got two different flavors that you can use whenever you need to.
and I'm gonna
So
be using them a lot, bro.
I figured. I figured. Um, Next week I start rehearsals for the new show.
Tell us about the new show. I need a
Feels like,
reminder as well.
yeah, I know. It feels like a forever ago that I got the role. Um, so it's a play called Ethan Claymore, and it's written by Norm Foster. He's a pretty well known Canadian. No, I won't say pretty. He is a well known, prolific Canadian playwright. And basic premise is Ethan is a an egg farmer who has a um, conflict in the past with his older brother, and he finds out something has happened to his older brother, and then he's sort of confronted with the like, how can I make this right now that time seems to be time is of the essence, kind of a thing. I play. I don't play Ethan. I play his neighbor, Doug, and uh, uh, I have the next farm over. I'm a corn farmer, so I'm the guy that's. I liken it to, you remember the TV show Home Improvement with Tim Allen.
Hmm.
And remember the dude, I don't know what his name is, just over the fence. And like for the first few seasons, all you ever saw was like just the top of his eyes peeking over. He's like, "Hey, neighbor," and they have the conversation. He was sort of like he was like the wise old dude next door. You know, Tim would go out in his backyard, like, "What did I do? Did I do this thing wrong?" And he'd be dropping philosophical bombs on the guy. So I'm a little bit like that guy, Al. Was it Al that lived next door? I don't remember, but that's kind of who I am to this story. I'm the guy, I'm the neighbor that's trying to help Ethan out of his funk. He's mourning his wife who passed 5 years ago. I'm trying to help him reignite his social life and ultimately trying to get him to come back out into the world again. Um,
When is this
so,
show supposed to happen?
so that show goes up uh, November 19, 20, 19, 20, 21, 22.
And
So
at Aurora Theater?
no, this is
Oh,
where you came before. It's at the Flado. It's at the big house again.
oh, Plato. Yeah, that's a nice place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's there again, and those are short runs, right? I think they do like a
They have to, right?
Wednesday. Yeah, it's very very expensive. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Saturday. We do so it's a 5 show run.
Um.
Um,
Oh, sorry.
no, no, go ahead, bro.
No, no, bro. I was just gonna. You finish. They do
Yeah,
short
so
run. Yeah.
Yeah. So short run, just because they have their own like small space, like a side space, and those shows are Wilson Gary. That's I'm the Wilson. I'm Wilson. Um,
Gary must be under the gun because he's doing one word responses with no
he's
capital on the front
it's
end. Like, look,
you know what
sorry, no
you know what
capital. What
you know
is
what
wrong with you, Gary?
he's picking the right power words, right? He's just interjecting with the right power words. So I'm Wilson. Yeah, I'm Wilson. I'm the next door neighbor. It's a fun script. Um, when I read the part originally, like before I decided to audition, I thought like I think I can bring something to this.
Mm,
Um, yeah, so it's literally like I get to drink a lot on stage. I'm kind of like the guy that I'll be the character that is going to be walking into his that all of it takes place in his present day living room.
mhm.
And I just kind of I think I told you this. I get to Kramer in and Kramer out. So imagine Wilson and Kramer as one character, and I get to drink and go through his cupboards and like just kind of be familiar with his place, and then mess with him, like poke and prod him with jokes and ridiculousness about how he should be living his life. So I get to bring the world back in. In some ways, what's kind of as the more I've been thinking about this, you remember Lonely Planet?
Yeah.
You
Oh, I
came,
loved Lonely Planet.
so I get to play I would say I'm in the same universe as Carl. So that character that kept on coming into my map shop, right? I am that kind of character now to Ethan. I'm bringing the world into him, saying, "You got to start living your life again. You got to start um, getting back out there again. You've been in mourning too long, dude. Like 5 years is too long. Life is passing you by. All you got is your friggin' chickens and eggs. You got to start meeting people." So I like that. I like that. It feels like I haven't played a character like this before. That's kind of so interested in helping somebody else and doing it kind of ridiculous ways, um, and not really caring. Like just it's like one strategy after another. It's like watching a third year special ed teacher just like try this, try this, try this. You're just throwing everything out. So I get to play that character on stage. So Tuesday we do a stage read, which or a table read where they invite. So we all just sit around a table and the membership is invited to come and hear us read the script. And then Thursday, we're up on our feet. We're up on our feet rehearsing. So away
Cool.
we go. Yeah,
Um, I'm just looking at the I don't know what to call it, a poster or whatever on the site.
yep.
It says Ethan Claymore, and then there's a farm, there's a barn in the background, chickens in the front, and it's snowy. So I'm imagining,
It's a Christmas play.
okay, it's a Christmas play, and
Yeah, that's what's kind of, I think we're, yeah, December. It takes place kind of over 2 days, December 21st, 22nd. So it's just up underneath Christmas.
so what I appreciate is I'm excited at the setting that you guys
Hmm.
like the how I I'm yeah I'm excited looking at this poster. I'm excited for the setting, like
Hmm.
the props and stuff you use to land us wherever the story takes place.
Hmm.
That's I got to tell you, that's all because of you and kind of giving me some background knowledge and understanding of community theater and stuff. I love how you guys and gals, you folks put together the stage. Like when I think back to Lonely Planet, dude, I really enjoyed that play. I don't
Hmm.
know if that's I don't know if it's I'm trying to tear apart like was it because it was your first show in a long time? I think that's part of it, but I really enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the
Hmm.
setting. It really worked. Um and last night when you were messaging me and you were you said something that triggered my memory to the other show that I saw at the Flato Theater, um, the dinner party. What was it called?
Rumors.
Rumors. And I became bothered. I became bothered because one of the actors in the play I thought kind of one of the actors in the play, I don't want to say ruined it for me, but I was like, this
Actor or character?
no actor.
The actor. So the human. You had an issue with the human.
I had an issue with the human because I felt that they weren't portraying the character properly.
Mm, fair. Fair.
But I was bothered because I was like, it took away from all of you who were portraying a character in a way that I felt was worked. And I was
I
like, what the
liked.
hell's going on here? But then I was reminded this is community theater. So in my mind, I should take it down a notch because
No,
hey,
no, no, no. No, I
no?
disagree. Keep it up
Okay.
there. Keep it up there. I think that type of discernment, as long as I think that type of discernment should be inward facing. And you take it as this is what I want from those performers on the stage. And you use that tool to deepen your understanding of performance. So in because obviously as the audience member, I mean you're stepping into that kind of space of sort of um dramaturg or reviewer, like when you start to say that the actor didn't deliver what you felt was the appropriate character. That's kind of like the space of directors and script interpreters. Like it's a technical way to look at a show, but it's also an emotional way to look at a show. And I would just take that as your fluency grows in community theater, not just as a consumer but someone that has an opinion like you and an informed opinion. That's fine if you in the because on the page every character kind of works. It isn't until you introduce this random chaos of an actual human being saying the lines that it can become awesome or average or not so great, right? um, so in this case, I think that's entirely fine. If you are looking at the group as an ensemble, which is a really like last night, the show that I saw, one of the things I told them, I said, I feel like there's always a risk. There's a risk when you have a show that's primarily songs and there isn't a really specific storyline. There was a storyline to the show last night. Then what you have because you have to give the audience coherence of some sort. And it can happen because everyone understands the story. It can happen because people believe in the relationships. It can be because people are just invested in theater, the big picture. So they're there to make sure that it works. So this levels of coherence exist in different spaces. If you're saying it wasn't coherent, the actual humans, because of this one individual, that is an important note for you to take for yourself and then to kind of dig in, what was it about it, what was it about that stood out as like not as connected as you would have preferred, as opposed to what they did wrong. What did you want more from that actor or want differently from that actor? And then you start to almost mentally give notes. You're like, okay, it was this, it actually was this, it was the tone of their voice, it was the way they moved around the stage, it was the sort of the lack of eye contact, or it was they kept on stepping too front down stage and kept on like taking other people's moments away. You can start to hit the technical things, and I've always found by sort of taking the technical things into account, you actually can go back and say, and so the tech all things being said, I did love the show, but these technical things for me didn't necessarily reduce my enjoyment, but I would question those decisions. And I think that's absolutely fine. You paid money to see a show. This is no different than being promised the most delicious steak dish and it's put in front of you. You do two cuts. You're like, it's not good. It's not good. Can I get the chicken instead? So, what do you remember what it was that didn't make it feel cohesive, or you just remember that there was that moment?
I felt like the actor just wasn't the acting wasn't the same caliber as the rest of the actors.
Got
I
you.
felt like it was almost like someone said to me, "We need you to jump in today. So and so's not
Hmm.
here." I'm like, "What
Hmm.
do I do?" Like, just put these clothes on, stand
Yeah.
there, and act normal. And
Sometimes
it's
that's it's called a walk on. So some play, like for example, last night I told you they pulled me out of the crowd just to participate in this.
Mm.
Now, the fortunate side to that is that they knew who they were pulling to come up and participate, and I'm willing to give over to it. And I've done it. I have some. I can do these things. I have a skill set in this, right? But walk-ons are tricky because you can pull someone and they like they'll go up. They could even agree to go up on stage and it doesn't work. But you're right. You can witness sometimes performers on there that look like they're a walk-on. Like they seem to not have. It could be caliber of acting. It could be familiarity with the script, and it's unfortunate. I would say definitely that is a process problem, not an actor problem, because I do believe within community theater you can help someone find their comfort zone and they can deliver something that is worthy of being paid for. I know this from experience because I sang on stage. I technically am not a good singer, but because I was part of the ensemble, I was in the right spot, right? I was able to grow and learn, and my mistakes were supported or buffered by other people that could sing. So I get completely where you're coming from. In that play, there was nowhere to hide. So everyone had to bring their thing, whatever that thing was.
I've been thinking lately about the Santa thing that one student said to me last year. I've been really holding on to that this notion that I could play Santa, uh,
Lebanese Santa, I love it.
Lebanese Santa, and I've it's stuck, man. I don't know. I don't know if I would. I'm excited to continue to think about the possibility that I could play Santa. I don't know how this plays out. I'll tell you though, I am enjoying that though. I'm enjoying this idea that somebody was like, "No, you could play Santa because we've had," and then they list all these non-traditional looking people and how
Hmm.
they've played Santa. So if they can play Santa, you could play Santa too. And I'm like, "Whoa." Anyway, I thought I'd throw that in there because who knows what happens with that. But it's still on my radar, which is interesting to me. I told my family they didn't do well with it. Like they were not,
As thrilled as you?
yes, they were not as thrilled as me. And they're like, why would you want to do that? Like, why would you want to do that? When would you have time for that? And I'm just like, I, I just thought I wasn't. I don't know what I was. I would think I was expecting maybe them to be a little bit more. That sounds really cool, Dad. Or yeah, that's neat. We could see that, but I didn't get that. I got more of like a what? Why would you want to do that? Don't you think that'd be cool to play Santa? Like, I think that'd be kind of cool. um, so this is season 9, episode 3, 351. Let's see how this plays out as time goes on because I suspect decisions would be made about Santa, I don't know, November possibly. And
Hmm.
I think I want to chase it. I think I want to at least look into what would be the process, what would be the expectations, because it could very well end right there, right? Like it could end with we need you on a Friday and Saturday night for like 4 weeks. It's like, well, that's not going to happen between the hockey schedule and other things. That's not going to happen. So we have to wait and see. But there's something about it. There's something about it that is, it's exciting to me.
I just Googled and it gave me back Baba Noel.
Baba Noel.
Baba Noel. I Googled Lebanese Santa and
Did you
it
get
gave me,
images?
what's that? Let's see.
Did you get images?
It well, see, here's the downside, right? Okay, so Lebanese. Okay, so let me put in Baba Noel. Baba Baba Noel. Okay, Baba Noel. So here's what's problematic about this. I don't. Yeah. Here's what's a problem with this. I would say that Google doesn't have the algorithm right because if Baba, like if this is the thing that you say Baba, now okay. So here's my issue. Here's my issue without putting my screen up. Baba, I'm gonna assume is either Papa or Dad or Father. So it's still that idea of Father Christmas.
Yes,
Am I on point so far?
you are,
Okay.
because I used to call my dad Baba
Baba, here
sometimes.
we go. So we know that
Father.
linguistically the word holds up. Here's my issue. Here's my issue, I guess, is that if it exists, and I could be flawed, if the thing exists, then someone decided to put words to it. So in Lebanese, we're good with Baba Noel. So I Google it, and in my mind, I'm expecting to see a racialized Santa.
Hmm.
I'm expecting to see that, and I don't know if that's fair or unfair, but I see your dark eyebrows, I see your salt and pepper beard. I'm sure if you went this big 20 years ago, it would have been full on black beard. So I mean, I here we go. So I got this kind of like this archetype, and then I put in, Lebanese Santa, and it's all white dude Santas. So we're just suggesting somehow that, Santa's a universal. Maybe this is what you're leaning into, that Santa, okay, even though archetype, universal, I think I want to have my salt and pepper beard. I want to sort of choose what okay, so like when you start to think about this, are you literally putting in mall Santa? Like you're literally putting that in to be that mall Santa. Like that's how you're sort of envisioning this. It's a think about. It might not be a yet, but I'm thinking to myself, like, I remember the controversy a few years back with hipster Santa. So it wasn't an old fat dude. It was like this guy that had sort of a slightly, a high fade with the white hair. Dude's still like 75 years old,
But
but
he looks sharp.
he looks sharp. His beard is like, duh, duh. It's like a chunk of Lego that got snapped onto his chin. He's wearing skinny jeans and Bluntstones, red, right? He's got a like a suit jacket, and he's got like a styling attache, dark leather, burnished in his sort of, his Yeti cup. So, and people were like, "That's not Santa, right? Has to be old fat white dude sitting on a chair, the Archie Bunker of the Santa world, right? Like that's what they want to have." I like this. I like the idea that um, if Santa is a universal, then we do the work to make sure that everybody can see themselves in Santa.
So I see, like, this guy's got a white beard,
Yeah.
but
I
he's
can't
look at it.
tell from here. Is that a strap on, or do you think that's natural?
No, I think that's natural. But look at
Okay.
his nose. Like, that's my nose.
Yep, I would say.
That's my skin tone. He's
Yeah.
not totally like, he's not fat. You know what I
He's,
mean?
you
Like,
know what? But he's Spanx in that. Yeah, he's sucking it in. That
okay,
that's the look of sucking
he
it in, I
spanks in that.
think.
Anyway, I could see me doing this, but I don't have the white beard. So is that a
So,
problem?
well, are you so no, but here's my question. Are you gonna put like spray snow in it to try and make it white?
I don't know. Is if that
Wow, eh?
See, this is all like, is that
Did you find that by putting in Baba Noel?
no, I put in Lebanese Santa and then had to flip through a bunch of images
There we
because they're all
go.
white guys.
Yeah, yeah. Which again, if we're saying that's the Santa, like if that's what we're saying is the Santa, then okay, okay. Um, well, it won't let me go back to this. That's too bad.
Oh, I found a
Oh,
cool image that I really like. I'm going to share with you because I
yeah,
think
do
it's
it.
just funny. But even in this, it's a white beard. So let's see here. How do I do this? It's the Lebanese flag on Santa, but Santa's like the traditional looking, with the Lebanese flag in the middle of it. So it's like even the internet is like, no, no matter where nationality you are, you're
So
gonna
let me
look
show.
like the white Santa.
Well, depends. Can I show mine?
Of course.
Okay, so how do I do this?
Bottom at the bottom you should have a plus button on a screen.
Okay, so this is the one like is is that so
Oh,
there
do I need to project it?
I don't know,
Oh,
see what happens.
oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
So, the bell, that's a slim Santa. Fake beard, right? Because it's
Yes.
rocking the curly. But look at the shoulder epaulets. Like that's something different, right? Look at the little that decorative kind of gold on there.
Mhm.
That's a little different. And, I can't tell by the resolution, but like rolling it in on a camel. Now that's like that's on the nose, right? So we're gonna say, we're saying because the Middle Eastern, but maybe not. Maybe that's like, is Santa universal enough that we get rid of the friggin' reindeer and we say it's gonna be a dude, obviously darker skin, gonna be rocking the nice dark rich beard, right? And a camel. I love it. I actually love this as just like a let's dig in. And I love the fact that you'll be playing in that zone. Me, I can only do the old white dude Santa, right? Like I'm only getting whiter and whiter. I'm just getting more white as I get older.
But
So
stereotypically, you fit the bill.
I fit the bill. Glass, like I don't got to do a lot.
No,
Hell, I could even the more bald I get, the longer my beard gets, the worse my eyesight gets. Like everything. That's just like it's like Santa in training, right? And really right now I could go see. Here's how I'm setting up my season. Maybe just you and I need to go out together. We just rock. I'll do the corn farmer Santa, and you can do the Lebanese Santa, and we'll hit up. We'll go for barbecue.
bro, even do you know what else we could do? I like that
Um,
idea. But
should
we
we should definitely do an episode.
dress up as Santa and then just find a mall. Like if you come here, I go there, and we walk around. We literally, I don't know, we could buy like a bunch of Bulk Barn Hershey Kisses or something. Just hand out Hershey Kisses dressed like Santa.
I mean, I think it would be probably if we're if we're just looking for a day away, we could do it like a Foodapalooza sort of thing, right? But
Dressed up like Santa.
I think walking together would be hilarious. Just a couple of Santa bros just walking through somewhere. I don't know. I'll go back to the funky green beard, Christmas beard Santa, and you can rock your Baba Noel Santa.
I wanted to show you when you're talking about how black my beard used to be.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah.
this. Look at how black that is.
That's not touched up. That's not touched up.
That's
Is that
not touched up at all. That's just my beard.
You know, it's
And
kind of
and we made these for the Top Gun movie. These
mhm.
it was just hilarious because my call sign is Dumbledore, but like that beard is not touched. It's just
It
black as
is
pitch.
it is so rich it almost looks fake.
It,
And that's just on the screen. It
and it's
almost
not.
looks like and I was looking, I'm like, doesn't look like there's any hooks around the ears. No, that's growing off his chin. But it actually looks kind of a little bit like a fake beard. A little bit.
Interesting though because it's not.
It's
Isn't
not.
that
Oh
cool?
hey.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not a prop. This beard is not a prop. That's awesome.
Now I'm thinking about buying myself a Santa suit. And do you know that a really good one could cost a lot of money? Like my
Bro,
wife
if you're gonna do it as a job, you're doing character work here.
fair
It's
enough. I'm just
yeah, yeah. Like those, if you're not just looking to get it off, like don't go Baba, don't do the Timu Babu Noel. You do not want to. Do not be
Timu
Timu.
Santa.
Do not be
No?
Timu Santa because you know that it's going to be one sleeve longer than the other. It's like the pants. It's like, why am I getting a rash on my nuts? It's like, well, you bought a Timu. There's always a risk, right? Even Amazon, right? They would be if you would be needing to go to, well, I'm sure you'll figure it out, but there's probably a costumer and you're looking like you're getting the velvet suit with the faux polar bear fluffiness on it, a toque that doesn't set your forehead on fire. right? It's not, I love it.
I guess stay tuned, eh? We'll figure this out. I would love to have a real Santa outfit, but I know that they cost a lot of money. Am I
I remember
willing
the
to
last
drop
time
that?
you kind of rocked this character work with your family. I think was when you bought yourself a pipe. And I remember you sending me those photos of just like driving and just it having the pipe, and your family is like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Just playing with my character,
So,
exploring."
yeah, I don't know if I ever told you that with the prop pipe. So at Christmas time years ago, or whatever, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever it was, I would go to my in-laws' house for dinner or whatever, and I'd have the prop pipe. And everybody's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's my prop pipe." And so pictures are being
You make
taken.
it so obvious. What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm holding a prop pipe, and
Pictures are
but then they get into the why. The why's good.
pictures are being taken, like family pictures, and I've just got a pipe. So, well, I you've seen there's a image of me and both of my children and my two nephews in my
The one I
car.
saw is, I think, you in the car. Yeah, you're just, it's like your whole, I think I can imagine the whole, it's almost like a GQ kind of a pose. You're either you got your hand, like you're just doing that right, kind of like looking off in the distance. So the camera's just set just right, and you're looking over the steering wheel like the family roadster. It's awesome.
And so there's a couple of layers there, right? Like one is you're smoking with kids in the car, and that's a big
It was the 80s, baby.
I give you one of these for that
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like I'm gonna do that, but whatever. Um, they can't tell they don't know if it's fake or real. They're just looking there like rolling smoking a pipe. But there's always been something about the pipe. Like anyway, the prop pipe. I remember saying something about it years ago before we had kids, and then I got one, and then now it's in the car. So wherever I go, it will be with me. And I have it. Oh, here it is. I'm going to share my screen. You can see the prop pipe with the kids in the car. And no, for God's sake, it's a prop pipe. There's no tobacco in it. It's not
Mm.
lit. Calm the f down to all
Well,
you.
real pipe,
It's a
but
real
it's not
pipe.
being, yeah, but you're
Oh,
just you're not
I'm
smoking.
having fun with it.
You're having fun,
I'm really
being kind of
struggling here.
cheeky and provocative and fun at the same time.
I
But
am
also very
pissing
much
people off.
a throwback, right? This is well, I grew up. It's still a reasonable Oh, the eye
See,
contact is unnerving. I do like the high contrast though. Like that red is stunning
yes.
against the gray shirt. So it works. And it's like, yeah, you're the naturalness to it. You followed the rule of thirds in the photography. Your position just in the right third of the photo. The actual pipe itself is on one of the grid intersections, so you can't look away. You cannot look away. It's like this dude is driving with a pipe.
So let me shape this for you. So it's pouring rain outside, and I say to the boys, let's go for a ride." We were at one of the cottages that we rent together, and I'm like, "Get in the car, let's go for a ride." So we go to get some donuts, and this was after we got the donuts. I kind of pulled over because it's pouring rain. So I'm like, let's just wait for the rain to calm down a little bit before I keep driving. And I literally, the kids are chatting. I just pull out the pipe, turn the camera on. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm getting a picture with the prop pipe." And then I sent this to my sister-in-law and to my wife to, to be like, "Hey, look, we're having some fun." The kids are dying laughing. You can't tell because obviously I've blurred out their faces,
Yep,
but they're like,
yep.
"What?" So the nephews are like, "What the f is your dad doing?" And my kids are like, "Just this is what my dad
Prop
does."
pipe.
Prop pipe time. So
I love it.
um, I would love to get some shots of me with the prop pipe in school, but I think I probably get in trouble for that, right? Because it's a it's a it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's an accessory that has to do with
It
smoke.
is. It
Yeah, so
is. Yeah, you want to get approval ahead of time.
I'm
Well,
not
I
going to
mean,
get approval.
here's the deal. You could probably take the photos, but you'd be doing black book style, right? Like that's what it is. It'd be black book. You'd just be taking it for yourself. You can't, you're not, despite like really the the WTF that would pop up. So the shots that you sent me of your desk
Oh,
and right, and then you adjust the shots just so you could sort of see, your hand there with the pipe cradled in it, kind of just in soft focus, just so people like, wait, do you have a pipe at school? Like just to start that up. But again, private property, so rules apply, and I would appreciate the photo just so that I could see it, and then I shred it. But I think there's something kind of, I think that's wait to post that till you're retired. That's that. Put that in the retirement. That goes in the retirement folder. Do not open until. But it's a fun bit of cheekiness.
yeah, the prop pipe. Man, see, that's those little things. They bring joy, and I appreciate that.
It's in the dad details filing cabinet because that type of humor, like just where you kind of do a thing and then you wait to be discovered, is the that is the dad energy. You just kind of do a ridiculous thing. It's the same. It's in the same kind of toolkit, not the same drawer. Like you're just walking with your family and you rip a fart and you just keep on walking and your family's like, "Did you?" And the fact of it is that you farting, very few people noticed, but then everyone's reaction, people notice. That I love that type of humor. Like, did you just do that? Oh my god! And then all of the reaction, and people start looking, and you just keep walking. Right? That's the pipe. That's the moment of this. The kids are in there. You like grab the camera, you just take it out, and they're watching. You're like, what is going on? Our sense of reality is twisted. I love those types of moments. I think it's a particularly dad brand move. I think so. I love it.
So
Man.
I gotta keep you updated on the Santa stuff.
Yep, Santa.
Uh,
Any sort of, prop pipe adventures I'm down for.
I should take. I should. It should be a bit of a series. Me with the prop pipe in different places, just
Hmm.
getting a random selfie or whatever. Um,
You could roll it into Baba Noel.
I could.
You could actually, get yourself the thing and Baba Noel at the library.
I got a
Baba
legal question.
Noel at
Yeah, Baba Noel in different places. I got a legal question.
oh geez, yes.
I'm allowed to have that pipe. Well, not in a school, but anywhere else in public. I can have that pipe with me and use it because it's not actually I'm not smoking anything. It's not being lit up. So
As
technically
in, could you walk
I
on
could be in a
private
grocery store.
property, or could you
Yes.
go to the grocery store and have it sitting,
Yeah.
hanging out of your face?
Yeah.
I think as long as you are prepared, I think you understand you're being provocative. You have to accept that you're potentially being provocative. So what that does is it brings attention to something that you don't get to go would like sometimes the teenagers do, right?
But
So
could I
you're
Oh, sorry,
you
sorry.
would. I don't. You wouldn't be. I don't. You by holding it in your mouth. It's the act of smoking, not the holding it in your mouth. That is the the actual infringement. There isn't a people walking through Loblaws or a shopping center with the vape in their pocket. The fact that it's concealed isn't an issue. If they're to be walking, holding it, like I think probably if a vapor put it in their mouth the authorities would have an issue with that because there's an invisibility to it. But the fact that I've seen people walking through the mall, and I don't know what how it would be addressed, but I've seen people walking through the mall with just a cigarette hanging out of their mouth. It's not lit, but they're walking and they are holding it in their mouth. So walking with the pipe hanging out of your mouth, you will definitely be provocative. Security may even approach you and they'll probably ask you to show that there's nothing actually in the pipe.
So it'd probably be a I don't plan on doing that, but I
I don't
would.
think illegal, but definitely
Okay,
provocative. Yeah,
fair
I don't
enough.
think illegal. Yeah.
I would probably just have it with me, and I would know where and when I was gonna put it in my
Yep.
mouth, take a shot, and
Yep.
then put it away again. And
Yeah.
yeah, if somebody were to say to me, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'd be happy to engage them. I'd be happy to say, "Oh, thanks for asking. Let me show you," and then show them. Like I'm not. I hear what you're saying, and I don't want to be that. What? What? No, I would say to somebody, "Whoa, relax, take a breath. Let me. I'll explain." It's a prop pipe. There's nothing in it. It's not lit up. I took one picture. Certainly not illegal. I'm not doing
Yeah.
so. That's what I'm getting at. I'm not doing anything illegal.
You
And
know that there's a whole universe of kind of gotcha, kind of guerrilla filmmaking, right? That
yes, yes,
often young people do this. They do a thing in front of a group. I mean, it's very much on that same, like Bushman, those Bushman videos where the people walk past that tree and all of a sudden they step out and they capture the reaction. It is likely that you walking with a pipe or posing with a pipe inside of a public place will elicit the same reaction, right? If you were to get some of the background video, you would definitely see people like, what the heck? Is that guy smoking a pipe? Right. And so you would have that kind of provocative provocation to it. But again, posing with it, like just setting up a shot,
no
I
biggie,
think,
right?
no biggie.
I
No
don't think
biggie.
anybody would. I don't think anybody would say anything just because it would be so quick and
Yep.
so. They'd look at me. They're like, "Oh, that guy's got a pipe in his mouth." They turn away and then they look back like, "Oh, the pipe's gone." Right. And the thing about a pipe is you'd smell it a mile
You
away
would.
and you'd see the smoke coming
It
from it.
looks like a pipe. I didn't get charged for having a pipe in my mouth when I was in Rumors. Remember, I had got to use a pipe in that. I
Am
didn't
I?
get the big, I didn't get the curly one that you had. It was that sort of straight, almost like corn cob style.
Yes,
But
yes.
I rather enjoyed walking around and kind of holding it. Like I got really used to that as an extension of my character. I really liked it. And even standing there and kind of holding it in my teeth, like I felt different. I felt like I was putting on a persona, right? And I didn't have the pipe. I liked the scene where I got to use it just for a little bit of time, and nobody was charging me. Yet the rule at the theater is no smoking, right? It
Right.
doesn't get like we didn't even. I've been in shows like none of our my pipe wasn't lit. It was an empty pipe. I've been in shows where it's not a real cigarette. It's like it's lighting up, but it's not a real cigarette. So get your content, bud. Get your content.
I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
not sure what I want to do or how I want to do it, but I think just different shots of me in different places with the pipe in my mouth, I think is a I certainly brings joy to me. So
I think I want you to do the Kramer one. I think I want a short video. Do you remember though? Wasn't it Kramer, that actor? He's smoking a cigarette and he's drinking a beer at the same time. I
yes.
think I want that, like you with the pipe hanging out of your mouth and you're like taking a bite of a chicken sandwich or something, like it's like excess all written all over it, or a donut in the pipe. I don't know what would work better. Your coffee in the morning with the pipe. Yeah. Yeah.
So what I need to have the pipe here for our next episode needs to come out of the car.
Okay.
For the longest time I couldn't find it. I remember Sarah said, "Where's your prop pipe?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And when I found it, I'm like, "This is awesome. I'm gonna keep it in the car, so it's always with me no matter where I go." Um,
You also don't see people cigarettes, yes, and I still see people smoking cigarettes, but the last person I saw with a pipe in their mouth driving was you. And I was like, okay, but it's not real. But you typically don't see that people driving. And what's ironic about that is that a pipe is way more convenient to use than a cigarette. Because you can just have it hang in there and smoke away, and the ash just falls down into the bowl, right? To actually have to do a cigarette, that hang in the window, out the window, and having to like, kind of ash it out the window without getting it all over you. There's a lot of work involved in smoking a cigarette. Did I tell you I used to smoke? I used to smoke. Do you know that?
no, I think you've mentioned it here or there, but I struggle
Hmm.
to visualize you as a
It's
smoker.
interesting. I was a very good smoker.
What
I
does
used
that
to,
mean you're a good smoker?
well, I used to roll my own.
Oh, okay.
I used to buy tobacco and actually, yeah, rolling papers. I'd roll my own. So it's very much like I'm craving something. I'd go through the work of making a good one,
Jeez,
and
Club.
it yeah no, no I'm not being righteous, or there was a time in my life I did it probably about, well, I smoked up until my getting married,
Hmm.
so it was a short stretch, 6 7 years I smoked.
Thank God for
So
Karen, baby.
yeah, married in 2002, so 1995 ish, which aligns when I left university. I started traveling. That's when I started going across Canada. It was easier to meet people. It was a way to meet people. You'd walk up to a bunch of randoms. You just kind of get a smoke from you. Um,
Oh my God, I just had this idea. It'd be hilarious if I walked out to the smoking section at school to talk to
with
a
a
kid and
with a
had my
fake pipe.
pipe. And I'm like, everybody's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just here to talk to so and so as I hold, not even put it in my mouth, just hold it.
Yeah,
Like, you know how people hold their
yeah.
pipe? Anyway,
Gesture
so
with it though too, because that's the key. That was the thing about good character work, just in general. Like when I was playing that character and I was holding that pipe, um, and you have to make sure that you're sort of like, it becomes like the equivalent of the point, and the sort of like, so that, because you want you want to draw the attention in a way that looks natural, but guaranteed if you sort of are holding the pipe, cradling it properly, and you sort of then you kind of point at an idea, and then you sort of like, you're sort of thinking, so there's an idea that it's very natural in your hand, you're going to see the people's eyes doing this, like they're just watching the pipe move through space.
now what I want to do as well is when I drive, I want to hold the pipe and just lay it in my mouth as I'm
Yep,
driving
yep.
and see if I can get if I can notice anybody noticing.
Mhm.
Might not happen, but
It's where you just put the GoPro on the glass, so it's facing out, so you can sort of get people's reactions. Capture some people, not a view of the pipe, just like you get that secondary film of just people seeing you with the pipe. So people pulling
yes,
up and kind of, they pull up and they're like,
you never see it anymore. You
you
never see
don't.
anybody
I
smoking
don't
a
think
pipe.
I've ever seen someone smoking a pipe in a car. Cigarettes, yes. I've never seen someone in a pipe. But as I said, it's way more convenient to do that than to smoke a cigarette.
So
You have like your ashtray and the mechanism all in one space.
back in the day when I lived in Ottawa, I met a guy who worked with my friend. His nickname was Tinny,
Hmm.
and Tinny was a pipe smoker. And imagine, dude, I was like, we were in our early 20s, and this guy was like, he smoked a pipe like for fun here and there. He was really into it. And I remember the one time him and I went for lunch, and we went to. Do you remember Fat? I don't know if this existed where you come from. Fat Albert's Subs.
Nope.
Okay, so in Ottawa there was at least one submarine place called Fat Albert's.
Hmm.
It was a restaurant, and you'd go get subs there. And we went for subs, and then we went outside after, and we were chatting, and he was like loading up his pipe and explaining everything to me, and he just on Bank Street he just lights it up, start puffing, and like that'd be like watching my 19-year-old do that, and I'd be like, "What are you doing?" Um, Tinny, yeah, the only guy I ever met that actually smoked a pipe, and he had several pipes and different flavored tobacco and stuff, and hilarious. Now that I think back, hilarious. I never got into it for real, but the smell. So as he was puffing away, I was like, "That smell is glorious." Um, yeah, a, the a, the smell of a pipe. It's always like in the rare moments I've seen someone smoking a pipe. That smell, I love it. I love it, but not enough to kill myself.
Hmm.
Um, who was I talking to about this the other day? My son. Oh, I can't believe you smoked. I was talking to my son about smoking, and
Hmm.
I said to him, like, just at the very least, ignore that is killing you and this and that. Who wants to give all their money away for something like that?
Hmm.
And my son was like, well, what does it cost? I'm like, well, I don't know anymore. Like, I know nothing. I never see. cigarette. I never go into corner stores, so I don't see cigarettes. I don't know what they cost, but I remember my dad would give me $5. He'd be like, "Go to the store and get me Du Maurier king size." Okay, Dad. And I remember going and I give the $5 bill and I get $1 back. Like it was a joke back then. I'm sure now it's probably the prices are insane for a pack of
Oh,
cigarettes.
I've heard like $20.
$20 for a pack of cigarettes?
Yeah. I don't
Wow.
know. I was asking Karen about this the other day. She goes, "Yeah, I think some of them are like $20 for a pack of smokes." I'm like, "Wow,
I'm looking it
wow."
up.
But I'm not. I mean, you kind of go, "Wow," but you can't be precious about it. Like, makes sense, right? Kind of makes sense.
It says here a pack of 20 cigarettes in Ontario costs around 17.99.
Hmm.
Holy shit. That's a lot of money. So I was saying to my son, at the very least, think about how much you'd be spending on this. It's insane what they want. Um,
Hmm.
I'd rather kill myself by eating than by smoking cigarettes for 17.99.
You're here, brother.
Okay, now before we go, I'm gonna look up how much a Santa suit is.
Okay. Critical information.
I'm writing a real Santa suit because I don't want some team.
You may out of the gate want to rent one. I mean,
Oh,
you can go all in, but a rent likely, yes, you're paying more relative because you don't get to keep it, but you may get a better deal on a Santa suit by renting it. Now, I will tell you, I'm gonna guess, I saw the look on your face, probably trying to rent one at this point, like a good one, you may not be able to do it because it strikes me like if this is something that you do each year, renting it, I'm betting you're booking that rental as soon as you come out of the season.
100%.
And some malls, like you get as soon as you clear Halloween, you're getting the call. Like I do it like it's old school. It should be, okay, Baba Noel, here's your shifts. You're like, sorry, I can't do Tuesdays.
Right. So look at this, bro. There's a place called ProSantaShop.com.
Of
Custom
course.
suits. Traditional Santa suit with polar bear plush fur.
I
20.
didn't even know that. Look at me, like somehow I said the polar bear, faux polar bear, right? Can I put a guess?
Yeah,
Okay, so is it for the full suit?
it just says traditional Santa suit
Do you get
with
boots?
polar bear plush fur. I'm gonna. I don't think so.
No boots. Do you get a belt?
I'm looking. It doesn't say.
Damn.
It
Probably
doesn't
the
even
hat.
say.
Let's assume it's a three piece. You're getting the hat, the jacket, the boots. Let's play it for that. Just so my guess. So pro Santa, eh? Damn, they dare to put pro in front of Santa. You know what? And you're purchasing, you get to own it.
Yeah.
Give me the deets on it again. How do they describe it?
This one they just says traditional Santa suit with
Okay.
polar bear plush fur. That's
Okay.
all it says. And then when I click on it,
Really?
it doesn't even talk about. There's no mention of boots. Maybe it's in the FAQs. So how much do you think? Let's just say it's the coat and the hat.
Okay. Well, you have the pants too. You'd have to have
Oh,
pants.
sorry, pants, coat, hat.
You're not sitting on that Santa's lap that couldn't afford the pants.
Oh,
That's
what
awesome.
is included when I purchase a suit? All Santa suits come with one hat, coat, and pants. The coat and
Good.
hat are lined in satin. The
Ooh,
pants have a
oh,
zipper, a hook and brace buttons, suspenders, and elastic stirrups on the bottom of the legs to keep your pant leg in your boots.
okay. Okay. So with that satin, that's a game changer. For purchase, okay, I'm gonna say, is it custom? Can you actually order to get it like tailored?
It says custom suits.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it's probably I'll okay, custom. Here's what I want to believe. Here's what I want to believe. I want to believe that this is somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500.
Okay.
Because if you go buy a good custom suit, which I just kind of did this last summer, like, and it was a deal of a deal. I think I still spent like 700 or 800 bucks on it,
Hmm.
and I got extra stuff, like I got the belts and all that kind of stuff. And that's not with the polar bear plush or the suspenders and other stuff. So I'm going to say 1,000 to 1,500.
Okay. $2,350.
Dang, eh?
Yeah.
That's what you pay for suspenders, I guess, and pants.
Anyway, so
I will say though, maybe you can get the discounted version because on this podcast, you wouldn't need to wear the pants.
but then I couldn't use it in real life.
Well, you can just wear jeans.
This is the best. Gary says he filled in as a mall Santa one year.
Oh, oh, we are in a sharing mood. Cluff's a
Gary,
smoker. You're Baba Noel, and Gary was a sub Santa.
which I could see Gary doing. Gary,
Oh
please
God,
tell us what
LTO Santa.
did they did that was his first leadership position.
It
Uh,
is. It is.
Gary, did they have a costume for you to wear? Because I don't think you went out and got one. So they must have lent you the costume to
Right now,
wear.
Gary's doing this. He's like,
He shouldn't have said anything.
he's like, damn. He goes, damn, and he's like, and it's live on YouTube. That's what I love. Sometimes we forget we're live, right?
We
Live
are
from
live.
YouTube. It is Decoded
Okay,
Podcast.
Gary says it was lent to him. Was
Okay.
it like good, Gary, or was it like a cheap kind of costume, or was it like of substance that you were like, "Whoa, this feels like real." And then Gary, how many years ago was this, bro?
I love it. Just this is like it's just opening up a whole new thing.
I'm seeing Gary in a whole new light.
I like this. Now that he's got your phone number, he's gonna be texting you this shit all the time. You're gonna be getting photos and testimonials. Was the best Christmas ever. Santa Gary was the best.
Santa Gary. Yeah, that's
A
Gary. I
local
understand
mall,
it was a
yeah.
local mall. I want to know about the costume.
Yeah, local
And
mall. Well,
and
he might
how did
be
you
he might actually be addressing the quality of the
Oh,
suit,
oh, I
right?
got you.
It was a local mall. So like they're pulling that thing out of the closet.
Oh, it
It's like,
probably
here, buddy,
smells.
put it on. We're like, man, what's it from mouth? You smell like beef and cheese. Whatever. you're,
The
you're
other
not
thing too,
Santa.
I want to know, Gary. I want to know the context. How do you even end up filling in? Like now I picture it's like a Seinfeld episode. Gary's walking in the mall and someone looks at him and says, "This guy'll do." And they're like, "Bro,
I
we
think I think Gary. I'm older than you. I'm older than you. I think Gary's probably closer to my vintage. So I mean, I didn't always look like Santa. Let's say it's just been the last 15 years that really, okay, Clough, you could probably play this role. So I think I'll do the same thing for Gary. My call is that he's done this while he was in education. That's my call, that he's done it since he's been in education. What I want to know though, and this is the kind of the cool get to know you. Okay, he's just told this to you and me and everyone else that's listening. Is this like, have we just been sort of entered into sort of like a secret society? Like there's a very small circle that actually knows that Gary was a mall Santa. Because sometimes these things come out and people are like, what? Like me telling you that I smoke. You're like, what? Really? And then you have to kind of like work that into your schema of understanding about this person. So,
Here's the other thing too. I know we've only ever had one guest on this podcast. This would have been the perfect opportunity to hear Gary talk about this. Now,
mm.
I
Well,
say
next
that.
Foodapalooza, it's coming back for Foodapalooza.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
sharing food, and we do have questions. It's actually, I have less questions as opposed. I just want to hear about the experience. That's it. This is just like you find out about something that somebody did. It's a little bit. Did you see recently? Oh, what's the dude's name that has been out to a couple book clubs? Doug, not Doug. It was the dude that offered us the cottage.
Don.
On. Did you see a couple of the photos that he's posted up recently
On
about stuff that he's
Insta?
done? I don't know if it's Insta or Facebook.
I'm
And
looking.
I don't even know what he was doing, but he's wearing this outfit. And the thing is like, wave. It's a back in the day kind of a thing. And he's wearing this outfit. I don't know if he's like a voyageur or he's somewhere in another country, but he looks very. It does not look like the Dawn that we got to know through book club. So I love this, like getting these kinds of stories from other people because it reminds me, it just is a great reminder that we're so much more than whatever we've immediately learned about the people that we consider to be friends. And it's a good, I like how it destabilizes assumptions. I love this kind of moment. And it's important to have these moments where you still feel that not only you can share hidden parts of yourself, but that the people that you're sharing them with accept that you had a whole life potentially before you met them. It's that you and I played with this before, talking about there's elements of our lives that our kids will never have access to. It's part of the reason that we talk to the AI. It's part of the reason that we sort of put this out online. But and part of the and stemming from the fact, like you saying, there is no content that I could get to know my dad any deeper. So this idea that you feel comfortable to reveal, I love it. And I mean, Mall Santa, cool. And we get cheeky and we make, so we play with it. I mean, I'll just say Gary walked into it. He shared, we were already talking about, Santa style stuff. But I really appreciate, and when it happens, I realize how much I crave to have these types of moments with my friends, because I do believe that this makes the relationship so much better. Like when you can sort of, oh, by the way, and it's the stuff that happens, oh, by the way, this, by the way, I was a mall Santa. It's like a full, so you're like, what? What? Seeing the pictures of Dawn, whatever he was doing in those, I'm like, what? That's Dawn? And it's not what, like, you are disagreeing with what you're seeing. The what is your own internal surprise that whatever you thought isn't the only thing that this person's made up of. And those moments are fantastic. The getting to know you after I've known you for a long time is a wonderful experience for me. I really enjoy that.
I hear exactly what you're saying. Gary posted something. I'm going to put it up in a second. I looked at Don's Instagram and I see nothing like that. I'm now on Facebook, but I don't know if him and I are connected this way. So I'm just going to see if I can find him.
Yeah, I
Oh,
forget what it was, but it was something again, he's wearing an outfit doing something in front of somebody, and I was like, that is very different than what I've got to know about this dude. So he posted up a couple days ago. It said this flashback, and he's wearing and I don't know if it's a private thing, so I won't put it up on here,
yeah, yeah, I
but
won't either.
I'll describe it. There's three people in the foreground facing him. He's wearing a red, he's got hair too. Like he's got a head of hair. He's got these brown kind of canvas pants on, pulled up to the knee. He's holding what looks like a long kind of like fabric belt. He's got a cross around his neck, and it's like a double cross. Like there's two, I don't know if that's cultural
Oh, I
religious
see it.
artifact. And he's got a red spotted shirt on. But again, I looked at it, I'm like, what is that? What is that? And I haven't jumped back in to ask him any questions. I'm just looking in the actual comments if people are just kind of saying, oh, some people are commenting on like Voyageur. Yeah, that's what storytelling. I don't know. But again, you see these people that put up these photos and you're like, what? That was you back in the day? I love it.
Okay, Gary. Work at mall and was asked by Santa Company fill in. Also played role for charity and once in high school.
Wow,
Gary.
nice.
Okay.
I think you can probably make some good seasonal money from that. I'm imagining like you can't go cheap on that. You can't. I think you gotta pay a decent hourly to have to sit there and have spend that much time with like just random like that. This social drain in being that person, sitting there, kid after kid, family after family. If in some cases you're just backdrop. They don't actually care. They
Oh
just
my,
need a Santa. In
you know,
other times, like it's really important. Like you have to play the role.
be what would be an epic um, viral video idea is to go to the mall dressed up as Santa with your own little chair and right by the line where the people wait to go see the real Santa, you sit and say, come on over, like it's free. You don't have to pay for a picture. You can take as many pictures as you like. And
I think you could
basically,
probably be as cheeky just to put down your little sign in your hat and just says Timu Santa.
you're definitely getting kicked out too. It's just a
You
matter
will.
of
Oh yeah,
time
yeah.
before
You can't.
security gets to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't. But I mean, you could. Yeah, you can't be anywhere on the private property. And doing it anywhere else, you wouldn't get the same.
No.
It wouldn't be, yeah. But yeah, that's like Santa provocateur.
And here's the thing, it it makes me smile because it would be
Hmm.
cool to do,
Hmm.
but I can't I can't do stuff like that with my job, right? Like
Yeah,
I don't want
you
yeah.
don't. Yeah, you don't want. You don't. Not that that goes into the retirement folder. That goes in the retirement ideas for retirement. How are you going to spend your retirement? I'm going to spend my time being a provocateur and really cheeky. It's all coming out. I'm going to open that filing cabinet and just go activity by activity and have some fun. I like it.
Oh, Gary says it was an interesting experience. Well, guess what? You're going to be reliving it the next time we're at Foodapalooza because
Absolutely.
watch Gary never
Absolutely.
attend another Foodapalooza now because he's
Gary
talk about it.
Gary is already interesting to me. He's a fascinating dude, but this I like a new layer. I like me a new layer. Just seasoned up this season nicely. Shake a little mall Santa on that. That was great.
Did you know I also have one of those like paperboy hats? My buddy got it for me in
Yeah.
Ireland. I,
Yep.
that with the pipe might be a
I
good look.
think okay, so if you're doing things just to generate conversation, I think it would be awesome if you also had one or two wigs. Just something to throw on one day. Why? See that one you could do anywhere. You could do anywhere. Just something that you put on. Like, why are you doing that? And do it. Definitely do it when you're hanging with your family. So you put something on, and it's just like, why are you doing that? Well, it's kind of cold out. Why don't you put on a hat? Why? I'll wear a wig. I did it once when I was shaving my head back in the day, and I wore it around school under a baseball cap.
Hmm.
I should see if I could find the photos. Because again, it's like the pipe, it's like being Santa. It's sort of like what is going on. Your reality gets like twisted. Oh, and the same effect is when and if I shave off my beard. I mean, you can get there. That's a little bit more like there's nothing temporary about that. These other things are little temporary things that you can play with. You decide to shave off your beard one day, bro, my God. What do you think your family would say?
Well, I did it last June.
All
I
the way down? Like the
yeah
skin?
yeah. I came. You've never seen those images? I
Last June, you shaved it down to skin?
um.
I don't know if I saw you down to
Sorry,
skin.
it wasn't last year. It was before June 2023. It was last before I started. It was last.
Was it
Sorry, not
engagement? Did you do it at the front end
at
of engagement?
at the end of engagement before I started in high school. I came home from my last day of school and I shaved the beard right off.
I don't have a moment of this.
Okay, I think I have a picture and
Yeah.
I look horrible in that. Like I hadn't seen my face in so long. Like
So you
my chin's up here because
right.
I get used to the shape. My whole
Yeah,
head
yeah.
is part of the beard, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I went right down, and my family was horrified. And I told them, I'm like, I need to reset. I need to shave it off.
It is a thing.
Just
To the
reset.
to the non-bearded people in the world, or anyone, there is a thing about, you go clean shaven. It isn't it's a physical the physicality of doing that does make you feel like a reset. A lot. I mean, it makes sense. So now it's like farming. You're like, okay, now I gotta grow the next crop.
And it was
So
like that was the spring that I needed. I needed a change. I needed to end. It was really weird. I needed to physically have something change
yeah,
on me in order to start over again. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I get that.
Um,
Absolutely, I do. I totally get it.
yeah. So I didn't. I took the clippers and I just it
Yeah,
all came off. I didn't actually then take a razor, but it was I didn't need
double.
to. Yeah, it was stubble.
The
Um,
closest I got is with that last character in the last will, that last character in Rumors, because I just had the big uh what's the character from The Simpsons? The next door neighbor of The Simpsons,
I don't remember
the
his name.
religious dude. He's got the
Oh,
two kids.
Gary will tell us.
Les, I want to say Les Nessman, but no, that's WKRP in Cincinnati. Anyways, I went down to that just mustache, and I was shaving, my sideburns and that. So
I don't have it here.
you'll
Oh yeah.
find it's there.
Yeah, it was my they were horrified. And I said to them, "This is happening. So be prepared. Last day of school,
This is
I'm
happening.
coming home and I'm shaving it off. And I'm
I love
starting
it.
over and I'm going to have a brand new beard when I get to high school in September."
It
Uh,
does it brings to mind and makes me wonder, like, so when Gary did his mall Santa, I, I don't know the timestamp on this. Let's assume it wasn't during social media, so he's not putting out, yeah, I'm mall Santa-ing here. I do wonder, did anyone just notice and like, is that Gary? Is that? I think I know that guy. I think I know that guy. Those are great moments. I like it. I like it. Somebody asked me the other day. They were asking about going to spas,
oh,
and I said, yeah, I've gone to a few. I've gone to three different ones, kind of close to my house. And they're like, what do you think of those cold plunges? I'm like, I like it. I don't like it. I actually don't like. I'm not the person that gets in there and it's like, oh yeah, okay, I've kind of gotten used to it. They're like, but you do it. I'm like, yeah. The reason that I do it though, that I like it is that is such a incredibly challenging mind F to convince yourself to jump into the water. And when you do it, I feel a big sense of success for overcoming my own thinking. Like I like that. I like that sort of overcoming my thinking that I think I can't do something, I shouldn't do something, that there's going to be some sort of a like really big negative outcome, but I don't really have that evidence. I'm pure feeling. I'm not actually in control of my mind. And then I do it. I'm like, okay, I don't like it, but it's not harming me. But what I do like is challenging my own boundaries and pushing myself to sort of push through it. Even if I go back into safety, I now know that I have a capacity for change. So these little moments like this, like you dropping the pipe or me suggesting where, a wig or whatever, shaving the beard, I like I like experimenting this way, and I'm not looking to completely disrupt what's foundational to my identity, but that dust that settles on top of it, when it starts to firm up like sediment, sometimes you got to dig down through it. You got to dig down through it. I will say there probably would have been a time like last night I might have waved off going up on stage to even then, despite the fact my drama stuff, I would have said no, 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 it's okay, take somebody else. I would have done that in public, showing that I'm not down with this sort of thing. Um, and similarly, like growing the beard, shaving the beard, I would have invested in this idea that the everything of my identity is connected with having the beard, as opposed to saying I get to choose what my identity is, and I get to sort of look at that and grow and change. So I know coming out of this play, right now I'm just letting the beard grow because in my mind I'm like, that's what a corn farmer should look like. I
mhm.
don't know any corn farmers. I don't even think I've ever met a corn farmer. I'm not about to Google what does a corn farmer look like. But I will let the beard keep growing until the end of November, and I'll definitely be at least your length, maybe a little bit longer by the time I get there. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I will now need to change. I will now need to change. And because part of it is, doing any play, I think if you do it well, I am the type that I can sort of turn on, turn off. I can be the character and then not be the character. If I have certain tools around me, my costume, my people, the blocking, it helps me be the character. But I'm always aware that I'm not a corn farmer. I don't go that deep. But there is something nice when this beard goes with me onto stage and it goes with me into school. So this is the bridge that needs to be knocked down to separate the experience. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
So by knocking down this, I can actually say, okay, this moment in time is done. I can decide to regrow the crop, or I can just like keep it short for a little bit. As far as I know, I do not need, actually, I can say for sure, I do not need a beard for any other purpose other than fashion after the play. But for now, this is what a corn farmer looks like to me.
It's cool, man.
I think we covered a lot of ground today.
We did, and a lot of things we need to do homework on.
Yeah. Yep.
Are we shutting it down?
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good too.
Can you
Thanks.
hear any knocking around upstairs? Did you hear anybody walking? I can't hear because of the headphones, but sometimes the microphone will pick it up. No, because
Not
I'm right below the TV room right now.
okay. I have not heard anything from your mic that leads me to believe there's life above you at the moment.
Gotcha.
Um, Thanks, Gary, for jumping in and sharing. I can't wait to talk to you more about the Santa experience.
Hmm.
Um, Anybody else who jumped in, thanks for listening. Anybody
Yeah,
who's
for sure.
currently listening, not live, thanks for checking us out.
Anybody in the future?
The future AI.
Hmm.
To both of my children, what's up? Thanks for checking your dad out on the Decode
Absolutely.
podcast.
Love you, kids. Love you.
Um, that's it. This was season 9, episode 3, number
Hmm.
351.
Good
Peace.
stuff. Peace, man.